Hello and welcome to my channel, On the Hook Crochet, where we talk about wearable crochet style. And let's find out what's been on the hook. Well, this is my late week on the hook crochet video. And these videos, which are toward the end of the week, maybe Thursday or Friday, it's a little slower pace, a little more thoughtful, some things that I want to show you that you might want to consider as information, and just a little bit slower pace. So I'm going to try to slow it down a little bit, and we'll spend a few minutes talking and sharing. And then also I have a giveaway at the end of this video, and one for next Thursday or Friday in the late week video. So let's get to it. Let me just show you a couple of things. First of all, I'm wearing a new scarf. Y'all may have noticed it. This is one that I talked about last week. I have had it on the blocks. If you're on my Instagram feed, you would know. I had some pictures of this, and because it is so long, this is 6 feet long, it's taller than me, and I had it blocked out on my ironing board and then a continuation onto my craft table. So all my blocks were lined up, and you can see the pictures out there. It was quite fun. I had never blocked a scarf this long, so it was a new experience for me. But I enjoyed it, and the scarf is dry, and I don't know what I'm calling it yet. I will probably name it and have the pattern out there fairly soon. But I wanted to show it to you because I was finished with it. I also said I'm going to wear a gray sweater with this scarf, and the gray that I had that I was making this from, which is this, what I thought was silver gray. This is Vita Lana, and I'm not sure exactly the name of it. It has some bling in it. It's very beautiful yarn, and I believe it's a size 3, as is this. But this may be a 4. You know, I get them mixed up because some of the 4s look like 3s, some of the 3s look like 4s. So you have to just look at a yarn and go, yeah, that's the size I need, and this is the hook I want to use, or whichever one. So I looked at this and I thought this was silver. And then when I put the scarf on with my silver sweater, which is actually silver, this silver has brown in it. It's a little bit brown, see? I thought that was pretty interesting. When I held it up just with this, it looked quite silver. But then when I put it up against my silver sweater, I realized that it had brown in it. So it's not quite silver. I would guess this would look best with a black dress or black turtleneck or black, even a black t-shirt, long sleeve t-shirt. Now, I will say this was not soft when I finished it, and I talked about that last week as well. But it has softened up. I used some rinse that you put into wools, and here's another one. This is called Soak. I have some of this as well, and I'll probably use this at some point on an article, but right now here's what I use. I use Rapture. I used Rapture, and I mentioned this last week when I was talking about my scarf. So I did use that. I let it soak for several minutes, maybe 15 minutes actually, while I was eating lunch, and then I rolled it in a towel and squeezed it real hard. I took it down to my blocks, and I set up my blocks to be 6 feet long, and I did block it. And look at the border. It looks much better. It's not all curled up and tense. The wetting of wool always loosens it up just a little bit. So this is what it looks like as we move toward the middle of the scarf. This is how it looks. I did not put a contrast on the other side. I'll tell you what I did with that in just a second. But this is, let me find the middle of the scarf. Here it is right here. This is the point of the scarf. Now, it's not a huge triangle like that. It's just a graceful triangle, just with a small point right there. So that's where the point is. So it's not a very dramatic triangle. But it's also very easy to wear, so you're not fighting that triangle all the time, the tip of the triangle. But it's very, very long, and you can make this shorter by just stopping. You just stop, and that creates the point of the triangle, and then you start decreasing on the rest of your scarf, which would match the first part of your scarf that you made. So you can use as much or little yarn as you want. You can make it as long or as short as you'd like. And then the border is just, you just crochet it on there. You don't worry about where you start. I always say you should start at the end, which is a good place to start. And what I did here was I used a crab stitch or a reverse single crochet on the straight side of the scarf. See, this is the straight side. On this side, I used a crab stitch, or let's see if I can get that up there. It's just barely visible. I used the yarn that I had left. Now, this is what I have left of the pink yarn, or the coral yarn, hardly anything. And because I didn't have very much left from 2 hanks that I used in this scarf, I didn't want to risk starting a big border on the straight side out of this and then finding out I didn't have enough yarn. I was a little bit nervous about using a single crochet even all the way down for 6 feet. I didn't know if I'd have enough yarn to complete that. So what I did was I knew I had enough to do a crab stitch. So I did a crab stitch all along the straight side of the scarf. So that's what it looks like up close. I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can. So that's what it looks like. I'm excited to be finished with it. It's just a huge scarf. But some people like big scarves. And if I made it again, and I am making it again, I'm not going to make it this long. Now, I think I might have shown you this. This is made from Rios Chia. Chia is the color. Rios is the brand. And this is a Malabrigo yarn that was sent to me in a knit crate box. I'm sorry, this was the quarterly Malabrigo box. It's always Malabrigo, which I love, so it's a great box for me. But it comes out quarterly, and this is what it looked like. It was kind of a almost a rose pink with some black speckles in it. And here it is. Now I've started my scarf in this particular Rios, and it's the same pattern as I used on the coral colored scarf. It's the same pattern, and I will not make this nearly as long. It will be probably 2/3 as long as the 6-foot scarf. But there again, you can stop wherever I could stop right here if I wanted to and just have a tiny little scarf, but that wouldn't do me very much good. I would want to make it much longer. So it would wrap around my neck a couple of times. I just absolutely love this. This is Vita Lana. This is not Malabrigo. This is Vita Lana. And scratchy, but you know, it's got some bling in it. I wish y'all could see that. There, I think you can see that. It has bling in it. This does not have any bling in it. It is quite beautiful. But anyway, I will probably make this and just be, like I said, 2/3 as long as the other one. So I hope you like my new scarf. I'll put the pattern out there. I haven't even named it yet. So there you have it. Not very ornate, but finished off. And it does have a nice border. I like the border that I came up with. It's kind of a potpourri of different stitches, but it's not difficult to do. And I think it's four passes, 4 rows for the border. So you could make the border pretty much out of anything. Just make sure that the fabric is made from the same type of yarn. I mean, you know, if you have wool, you'll probably want to use a wool border because you'll want to be able to wet it or wash it. And if you combine your different types of yarn, then you might have a hard time getting it to block out correctly. If you're making an acrylic border and a wool scarf, they may not work out too well together. So I don't really recommend that. You could certainly try it. I'm for trying new things all the time. So that's enough about that. I'm all done with this, and I'm working on this one just as I feel like. It's just sitting here on my desk. It's not doing anything special. So I wanted to be sure that I showed that to you today. It turned out to be a very beautiful scarf. I like it. I'm making it out of a different yarn already. So like I said, I always try to make my patterns at least twice. and that way I can make the second one exactly how I want it to be. In keeping with the slower pace of my late week videos, I wanted to share with you the creator of some very beautiful patterns, and this is the woman named Marie Wallen. Here is her calling card, or whatever. It came in an order that I placed for her book. And I really like the book, and I'm going to show you some portions of it today. But before that, I want to show you a couple of patterns that I ran across. This was created in 2014. It's called Rona, and this is a sweater pattern made from motifs. Some people call those granny squares, but I don't like calling them that. I like to call them motifs because a granny square could be triangle, it could be hexagonal, it could be any shape or form, and you're still calling it granny square. I think motifs is a better name because it covers all those different shapes, and it doesn't label the article as old. Granny sounds old to me. I don't really care for that too much. So to name a design or a design element. So I like to call these motifs. And if you get up close, you can see that some of them have roses that that stand out, or those are they're flowers that stand out. And then there's some regular motifs. There are 4 different designs that she's created, and she's put them together, and then she's crocheted around, and also the collar, the top of the sleeve, the underside of the sleeve is also crocheted. It's not all motifs all the way around. The back is full motif, and it has some crochet up here at the shoulder. So I wanted to show you how that was done. There is no back view of this. I don't know why. I've looked on the web for this paid pattern, and I can't seem to find it. It's all you can find is the front view, and I don't understand that. It comes in only 2 sizes. It comes in extra small, it comes in small medium, and it comes in large extra large. So it's a very loose fitting sweater. It's not tight. I don't know what it looks like when you stand up. There, she's sitting down and kind of scrunched around. I don't see how it hangs or anything, but I can imagine it would be very wonderful to make it. The directions are probably on an intermediate level, and you also use a size D hook, which is very, very tiny. The yarn is a DK Rowan felted tweed, but it's not exactly a DK. When you go to look for the yarn, it's very, very expensive. I will not make this out of that if I make it at all. I would find a substitute yarn for that. But this is one pattern that I saw that I really liked. And when I saw who had created it, Marie Wallen, I was excited because I'd sort of started looking at some of her patterns. And I like the way she combines her colors. They're not loud, they're not flashy, they're not blingy, they're just very subtle colors. And she has a model who is, looks like that girl too, but this girl, her name is, I think it's Georgia, and she is Irish, and she's got this bright red hair. It's not fake red, it's a beautiful Irish red hair. Beautiful, beautiful color, and she's a great model because she's not pretentious. She just stands there and models these beautiful crocheted and knit designs. So I went back out on the web and I looked up, patterns by Marie Wallen, and lots came up. But what came up that I was really interested in was the Winter Crochet book by Marie Wallen. You can get this on mariewallen.com. And it's called Winter Crochet, and this pretty girl is on the front. She has that red hair put up, and she's wearing the sweater that I was going on about a week and a half ago, as I ordered this book. I ordered it for this pattern right here. I had not looked at the whole sweater. I had just seen this part of it. I really didn't look into it all that much, and I found out that that particular sweater is partly knitted. So I may have to crochet it. But the good thing is that I have this pattern that I ordered. I downloaded it. It's a paid pattern. It's called Rona, and it is actually crocheted around those motifs. So it's a a good way to look at how maybe to make this and not have to knit. And mostly, well, the knitting is the rib around the neck and any solid pieces you see. I think there's one at the mid of the sleeve and down on both sides, of course, and then the bottom of the sweater. The back of the sweater is knitted as well, so that's a lot more knitting than I can do. Now I want to show you a picture of that full on. There it is with the model wearing it, and they don't really show the back, they show the side, and this is the side of the sweater, and you can see that this part is knitted and this back here is knitted, and then of course the rib at the bottom and the top are knitted as well. So it's not a fitted sweater. You can tell it's very boxy. I would probably make it, well, I wouldn't put all that rib at the bottom like she's showing you here. I would not put all this rib on here for reasons I told you in my last video. I just don't like rib at the bottom of my sweaters, so you might want to put it on yours. But this is a knitted rib, and of course that would disqualify it from me trying to work on that. The name of this sweater is called Mira, M-E-A-R-A, Mira. And all the names in here are Irish, and as we work through here I'll show you what the names are. This is another one that I really liked. This is called Caitlin, and it is it's just like a striped sweater, and it's crocheted from the top down, and it looks like it's fairly easy to make. I haven't looked at the pattern itself, but more than likely it's doable. It's probably an intermediate pattern. You wouldn't have to suffer with it too much. All right, and then I want to show you this one. This is really the most doable of all. This is another one that I really liked. This is called Neve. N-E-V is how it's pronounced, Neve, but it's spelled N-I-A-M-H. That's an Irish name. So if you look at that name, you would never pronounce it Neve, but they do. Anyway, I like this one. This is kind of a fade, and it looks like the stitch pattern is very, very easy. And I think you crochet this from the bottom up and add sleeves to it. So it looks very, very pretty as well. Moving on. This is almost the same as the Caitlin sweater, which is the one I really like. This is a scarf pattern, which is done in motifs. It's crocheted in motifs, crocheted all around. So there's no knitting on this one. But it wasn't in the book. The picture was in the book, but the pattern was not in the book. So I had to go out and get the pattern from mariewallen.com. I think it was on her Ravelry page, actually. This is what it looks like. This is the pattern. It's very beautiful. I like it. You wouldn't even have to make it that long. I think it's 5.5 feet or something like that. You could make a cowl out of several motifs. You could just connect them together till you get it the right length, and then crochet around it and put a border on it. This is a close-up of the motif that she uses in this particular pattern. I think they're all made the same, just with different colors. They're all crocheted just alike, and here's a picture of 4 different color patterns that she's used in there, using again the Rowan tweed. And again, it is also very, very expensive. It's probably over $20 for 100 grams, and to me that's just more than I can be okay with when I know you can substitute yarn. Now let me say a thing about substituting yarn. You can go on your computer and type in yarn substitution, and the website that comes up, I think it is yarnsubstitution.com, and you can type in the name of the yarn that you are looking at. For example, this Rowan tweed, and it will give you several different types of yarn that are very, very similar to that in weight, in composition. I mean, and most of them are, as you go down the row, they might be a little bit less expensive as you go down, and you might be able to find some of the same colors in those particular yarns. And this is the one I found. This is, I've been using this for a long time. The official yarn substitute on that website for the Rowan tweed yarns. And if you look at that, you can see why. It's beautiful. It's wool and alpaca. This is wool and alpaca and Donegal tweed. And their combination percentages are a little bit different from the Rowan tweed, but it looks very, very similar on the website. So I could order one each of these colors that it calls for in there that are comparable to the Rowan tweed, and I would probably have the colors that I need to make that beautiful scarf. And that's where I would start. I don't think I would start with the sweater pattern because I'm not sure I want to take up a big project like that. From a designer I don't know a whole lot about. All I know is that I'd like to try one of her designs and see what it's like. So I haven't selected my pick 9 for this year. I know a lot of YouTubers do that. They select 9 projects that they want to do, and because I design my own garments, I can't say I'm going to design 9 garments this year. I really can't do that because I don't ever know how much time it's going to take me to do one design, nevertheless 9 designs. So I can't really do the pick 9, but I will be doing the throw that I've ordered a kit for from Mary Maxim, the Persian tiles throw. I'm going to work on that as one of my projects, and I want to design a couple of things that I've had in mind for a long time. I'd like to do that. And so I've done a lot of designs this year. I've been out on Etsy maybe a year and 3 months or something like that, and I have enjoyed putting patterns out there. I think most of y'all like those. I haven't really received any negative comments about them at all. I do help people sometimes if they need help with their pattern, so I'm more than happy to do that if you want to email me or send me a note through Etsy. I usually pick up all those Etsy messages and I answer them right there on Etsy. So if you're having trouble getting a download or you can't find it or you have a question about a pattern, you please email me or Etsy message me and I will help you with that. Not a problem at all. I'm glad to help you. Last week I started my giveaway for late week videos, and I am just excited to give these away. This is the Caron cake in the rose scented colorway, and y'all had said how much you really like that, and I do too. I love the color of this. Honestly, can't remember what I made out of it, but here's the thing. I was looking at this during the week this week, and I realized that this was not a very tight Caron cake, latte cake. I've picked it up 2 or 3 times. I thought, well, that feels a little bit soft. I thought maybe the label was loose or something, but I found out when I weighed it, I went to weigh it, and it weighed less than 8.5 ounces, which is what it started with. 8.8 ounces it starts with, and so I thought, you know what, I think I've used some of that. I'm going to figure it out. So I weighed it, and it weighed 6 ounces. And that means I've used 170 yards out of this, and I don't even remember what I made. I truly don't remember what I made with this. But there are 361 yards on this cake. So whoever wins this cake this week, I ask y'all to use the keyword Caron, C-A-R-O-N, for this particular giveaway. And when I realized I had used some of this, I thought, well, I'm going to add something to that. So giveaway winner number 1 will receive this Caron cake with 361 yards on it. And then I'm also giving away this full skein of Huga Red Heart in the colorway Sterling. And it's kind of a grayish brown, sort of a grayish brown. It's pretty. It's mostly gray. It's like a light charcoal, actually. In daylight, it's like light charcoal. See, there it is against my gray top. So this will go to giveaway winner number 1 as well. And you know, I said giveaway winner number 1. There was only one giveaway from last week. But I also found this in my stash when I was cleaning out my stash, and this is a Caron Latte cake as well that I will not be using, and I'll tell you why in a second. But this is called Pretty Plum, and it has gray and purple and white. It is gorgeous and beautiful made up. This is a full cake. Nothing's been used off of it. And if you're not familiar with latte cakes, you should be, because they're the softest yarn I think that's made that is not a natural yarn. It is an acrylic and nylon, and the nylon of course makes it very squishy and soft just like sock yarn that has nylon in it because you want it to be soft on your leg. I thought you might like to get a look at how this latte cake crochets up. This is the pretty plum that I just talked about, and I made my very first cardi vest out of this. This is a very easy pattern. It's made side to side, very simple, and it's out on my Etsy shop as well, but I just wanted to show you this. This is what I made out of my latte cake, and I just wanted you to see this because some of you may have missed the show where I showed this cardi vest, but this is what I made it from the first time I made it. The second time I made it was with plentiful yarn, and I'll show that to you some other time, but I wanted to show you this because this is the giveaway offer for today, and I just wanted to show you what it looks like made up. So this is a wonderful latte cake, and this will go to giveaway winner number 2. So I'm going to select 2 giveaway winners from my list of comments that came in on this video last Thursday. So let's turn the camera to the computer and find out who wins these latte cakes and the hygge yarn as well. Put in the URL from last week's late week video and Caron, which is the keyword. So let's find out how many comments we had that came in with that particular word in there. Some people don't use it. Maybe they don't need it or want a latte cake, which is fine. And we had 317 people sign up for this. So let's go over here and find out who wins. First of all, the rose scented latte cake and the hygge yarn from Red Heart. And that would be Terry Redmond. Terry Redmond. There's the word Caron right there. So she is the winner of the rose scented latte cake and the hygge yarn. Congratulations, Terry. Now let's go down here and pick another winner. This winner will win the Pretty Plum latte cake, and that would be Susan Hebert. Susan Hebert or Hebert, I don't know which one, but she's got the word Caron right there. So congratulations, Susan Hebert, of the latte cake in the Pretty Plum color. Well, congratulations to both of the winners of the latte cakes and the hygge yarn. I'm excited to get those out of my stash, and hopefully somebody can enjoy making something from them. And in fact, this hygge yarn, I think you could probably make a hat with that. I don't even think it would take the whole skein. I really don't. Let's see how many yards are on this. 132 yards of a size 5 bulky. So this is size bulky, and this is also a size bulky, the latte cake. So everything I'm giving away this week are the size 5 bulky. So congratulations to our winners. Now for next week, winner number 1 will receive 2 balls of hygge yarn in the colorway Pearl. Well, I don't know if you can see that. They're both in plastic. I just left them in the plastic. But they're the hygge yarn, very, very soft. I bought way too much of this to make a sweater with, and I won't be able to even probably finish the sweater. So I'm just going to give away a couple of these. You can make hats, a scarf, all kinds of things out of this. And that's what will go to giveaway winner number 1. So I'm excited about that. That's some really nice yarn. I really like it. Now, for giveaway winner number 2, she will win 3 balls of ZZ Twist in royal blue. And this is a yarn that is supposedly good for crocheters. I did not ever try it. I just never got around to it. So the ZZ Twist is a little bit famous for that, and I hope it works for you. But there are 3 balls of this, and they will go to giveaway winner number 2. And very quickly, let me tell you what's on here. This is the ZZ Twist. It's 246 yards on the ball, so that's pretty good. It's a size 4. That's a lot of yarn. It's 100% acrylic, again in the royal blue color. So I hope you like it. I know you've probably seen this on the web, or maybe even at Walmart or somewhere like that. There it is, ZZ Twist by Lion Brand. So giveaway winner number 2 will receive 3 of those, and then giveaway winner number 3. I started a project for this, and I wrapped it back up. I frogged it out. It wasn't very far along, and I decided I wasn't going to do that particular project. I want to give away two 2 full cakes of Ocean Breeze Comfy Cotton. And here it is right here. This is what it looks like 2 ways. This is what I frogged out. It's just about 4 or 5 strands there, but I went ahead and wrapped it on the cake. And this is what the color looks like. It's a really pretty Ocean Breeze. Very, very lovely. And this is 50% cotton, 50% polyester, and 392 yards on the cake. So giveaway winner number 3 will receive 2 cakes of comfy cotton in the color Ocean Breeze. When you write your comment, be sure that you put the words twist in the comment. And here it is, T-W-I-S-T, T-W-I-S-T, twist. If you put the word twist in your comment, you'll be in the running for one of these 3 giveaway gifts. And I'm excited. They'll be out of my office and into your home where you can enjoy crocheting a project with them. So I hope you enjoyed today's low-key operation. It was kind of a little bit slow. I hope I didn't wear y'all out, but I just like to come and talk about crochet. I really love it. And when I have a new design, I like to show that. I don't like to just throw the pattern out there, but I will put the pattern out in the next day or 2. So I wanted to just tell you that it's coming, and hope you like it. I hope you like that new scarf. So I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I will see you again on Monday when we find out what's on the hook.